Knowing how to navigate tense moments is key to any relationship. Why then do some couples find disagreements nearly impossible to overcome? My next guest found a metaphor for managing conflict in an unexpected place. That is an escape room. Dr. Matt Townsend is a pro at helping couples manage conflict. He joins me now, so you have us intrigued. Marriage is as to an escape room.
Yes, but it's not so you can escape.
Oh, good.
But it's that same feeling, right? You've done an escape room.
Yes, I have.
And they're scary.
Yes.
And intense.
Yes.
And what I found is they have all of the same issues that we have when we take on a conflict.
Like what?
Like we're freaking out. We feel stuck. We feel like we could die. And you're not going to die. You got an hour. They'll open the doors later.
You feel, I could go with you here. You feel like there's a really hard puzzle to be solved sometimes. Like this is complicated.
That's right. But see, what's weird is like in the escape rooms, it's like puzzle. It's a fun game. It's not life and death. But in our conflicts, we turn them into life and death.
Did you get out of your life or death situation?
Actually, no. We didn't. They said we had one of the hardest rooms.
Of course they did.
That's what they said.
They didn't say that.
And about halfway through, I fell asleep because I was so tired of failing.
See, Mark was like in.
Mark's good
when
at
we
this.
did it. He was a thinker. He was he was all in.
See, I'm not good at this. But conflict is like an escape room. So we've got a bunch of rules that if you would just see your conflict not as life or death, but start treating it like a puzzle, some powerful things happen.
Rule number 1, see it as a puzzle, but not as a plague.
As a plague. We think it's life or death. We think one of our arguments, a disagreement, is life or death. Like, this is it. We are done if we can't solve this. But the reality is, it's just a puzzle. And if think about it, if you were stuck in the room until you guys could handle and finish the conflict and manage it, most of us would die. Like a huge percentage of couples can't handle conflict.
Right.
So they avoid it, they fight, they flight. So what we want you to do is start to see it as a puzzle, not something that's like a terminal problem.
Yeah.
All you got to do is start figuring out and take time and start trying new things, risking things, stopping things that aren't serving us.
I like the puzzle idea because it implies there is a solution, right? There is an end. There
is always a solution. I always ask couples, so if I locked you in a room and wouldn't let you out, or I would kill one of your children, if you can't solve this conversation effectively, what would you do? And they always say, we would solve it. And then I ask, how? And then they have a whole slew of other ideas.
So it's looking for the tools and looking for the way to figure it out. Rule number 2, quit thinking your situation is unique.
When you're in an escape room, if you're not succeeding, quit thinking that your situation's unique. It's not. 10 other people went through it earlier in the day, and they made it. And 50 have gone through it this week. And in your conflict, I always have people say, well, yeah, I mean, that's a really great principle, but you don't know my husband.
You're not married to him. Yeah.
Our situation's different. Here's the reality. No, it's not. You're not that special. You're pretty normal, just like the rest of us. I have very rarely heard of a new problem that a couple has that I've never heard of. And most of the problems aren't the problems. You have the same way of fighting. You do it the same way. I know that because you can even predict how it'll go. You know exactly what he'll say. You know exactly what you'll do. And if all of that's true, then your situation isn't very new. It's pretty old-fashioned. It's old school.
I'm smiling because that is so spot on. I have to imagine as you work with these couples day in and day out.
Of hearing that.
Yeah.
And by the way, the minute you think your situation is different, it justifies why you can be different in the situation.
Yes.
So quit making excuses. You're not that different. You're very much the same. So stay in it and start working it.
Rule number 3, don't trust your reactive responses.
No, there's a moment in the escape room where I just started rattling the cage. Like I wanted out of the flipping cage.
Bust this open.
And I'm seriously like pulling on the lock and I'm figuring out a way to break it. Like maybe I could break it. And my reactive response is do something unethical, immoral, illegal against your values to get to the next level.
Yeah.
But once you start freaking and panicking, all that means is your fight or flight is kicking in. And when fight or flight kicks in, your intelligent, logical mind turns off, and all of the good solutions kind of disappear.
So when you feel inclined to say something or to...
Or freak, or yell, or name call, or walk away, don't trust that reactive response. It's not going to help you. So instead of doing the reactive response, literally, I want you to imagine that we turned a video recorder on so the grandkids, we're going to live stream our fight. Because I want the whole neighborhood and the grandkids to watch Grandma and Grandpa have this conversation. And the minute I do that, I actually go to a different brain. And I start thinking of how to be better in the situation. So how would you handle a really difficult situation if you knew you were being filmed? When you are being filmed all day long, you handle stuff probably differently. Oh, I dropped a spoon.
No, Matt, I am the same.
But at home, you might be like, what's going on?
I don't do that. The record reflects.
Mark showed me the video.
Okay.
It was crazy.
No, but that's a good little self-test to
Yeah.
kind of put that, and just the psychology behind it, the research that you do flip to that other side of your brain.
And you play a different game when you think people are watching.
Yeah, totally.
And that makes you less reactive.
Try something new is another tip.
Hey, how about if it's not working, do something new?
Hey, there's an idea.
Like when you're in the escape room, if the lock's not coming unlocked with what you're trying, you can try it 500 more times and still get the same response, or you can actually try something new. So if your conversation is speeding up, hey, slow it down. Try something new, right? If all of a sudden your partner's getting angrier, don't you get angry because your anger is not going to help. Try something new. Just reaffirm that I love you. I'm not trying to hurt you here. Let's slow down. Let's talk differently. If you're afraid, imagine, just treat it like a courtroom. Try something new. Videotape it. Try something new. It doesn't matter what you do. Just try something new. And amazingly, new things happen. When you try new stuff.
New responses, new reactions.
Anything you do that's new, or just try anything new. And that's why if it's a puzzle, we're constantly trying so that we can figure it out. If we think it's a plague, we kind of don't dare to try it because what if it all falls apart?
There's always that meme floating around social media. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So it totally applies. Don't ever give up is the final takeaway here.
You can't give up in an escape room. You've got an hour. Don't give up. Just keep trying to figure it out. And what's cool is in our couples, if we don't give up on the conflict, it just maybe we don't know what we're doing. You could try something new and go get help, but don't give up. Let's just keep learning the skills, the tools, and eventually you're going to hear that click. And the click is going to open the lock that's been stopping your conflict. If you don't give up, that's me saying, I love you no matter what. This conflict's not going to stop me from loving you. I love you. I'm here forever with you. And we're just going to keep working on the conflict and we'll figure it out. And then what's powerful about not giving up is you know that it's not about the marriage. The conflict shouldn't be about the marriage. The marriage is set. It's an institution that we're never changing. The conflict is just, the furniture we're going to put in the building.
This was really good.
It's cool.
Really good, Matt. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brooklyn.
Also good, big,
huge,
epic announcement because we wait for this 2 times a year.
Big time.
You host a huge date night in February and then in fall, and the date has been scheduled.
It's scheduled October 27th. It's happening 7 to 9 p.m. at Olympus Junior High School.
Yes.
And it's my funniest stuff about the differences between men and women, plus all my new stuff about the differences. It's my favorite date night just because it's so funny. And we'll kick back, we'll laugh, we'll cry. It's awesome. Go to matttownsend.com and we give you a discount. And there's a discount code.
I think it's Studio 5.
I think it used to be.
No.
But now it's called Fall 10.
We are 2 professionals at work
Fall
here.
10, because we give you $10 off the
There it is. We
Fall
had some
10.
help from the wings. Fall 10 is the
That's it.
discount. And if you talk to anyone who's been to one of these date nights, they will affirm this is the best thing they did.
So fun.
As a date night all year. So we are excited about that. Put it on the calendar. Come join us. And we'll link you over to Matt's website from ours so you can get registered and get settled Fall 10.
Fall
10!